Welcome to the JR Texan Gentleman, the podcast that deals with the early life of JR Hendrick. And now, beginning the afternoon of September 4th, this episode is called Snatch The Debate. 1:45 p.m. Central. With Fabian loading the bags and Lucinda starting the Hummer, Betsy takes JR aside. Forgive me for speaking out of school, but I wondered about something. Is your relationship with Karen really going good? Or is there a problem? Betsy said. I don't blame you for asking, Mama, but I do love her, JR said. Son, your aim is off. I love her. Helps me get over Jennifer. At least I didn't do what I originally thought and flying to Dallas and spend the weekend with Charlie and getting humiliated like he did. Think about that, Mama. Well, your aim is building his cause he's crazy. Can't wake up and see reality. Karen has broken your heart before. She'll break your heart again. It's different this time. No, we're not getting married anytime soon. But Mama, she moves me. I say you need a lot more than that. If you pick a girl just because she moved you, then you're in trouble, Betsy said, briefly turning towards the house. This weekend, I saw a side of you that I really like. In the past, you used to hang out with Brad and Jim Bob without question. The fact that you would come to me for advice really makes me appreciate you even more. More and more. 2 p.m. The Hummer pulls out of the long drive of the ranch and departs for Lubbock with JR and Andrew Shelford in the back. 4:30 p.m. Eastern, Jim welcomes his dream team back to 14 Heritage Gate. The plan for the rest of the day would be a 2-hour meeting, along with a lovely dinner, Caesar salad, chicken fajitas with garlic mashed potatoes, asparagus, and lemon swain. 4 p.m. JR is in his room on his laptop, emailing his dad, and he's getting ready to do some studies when there's a knock on the door. It's Calvin Broderson. I haven't seen you around much. Only time I've seen you is in public policy and the political contention course, Calvin said. Keep him busy, JR said. I'd like to see you tonight at devotional and dinner, Calvin said. 6 p.m. Central. Dinner that night was hamburgers and hot dogs at the Holy Spirit Club. And JR sits down with Brent, C.B. Coleman, and Calvin. So, how was your weekend there back home? C.B. asked. Good. Got some business tips from a neighbor of mine, Jack Daly. Got a chance to see my girl. Maybe even fool around with Brad and Jim Bob, Gerald said. Oh no, Calvin said. Be careful with Jim Bob. He's talkative in everything. And I'm willing to bet he talked you into another NFB meeting, Brent said. Please don't tell me that you agreed, Calvin said. No. He wanted me to go, and I said no. My first political communications research paper is due the 18th. I have 2 tests, and I have 2 speeches to turn in on the. I have a speech to turn in on the 19th. So it's 8 p.m. JR gets a phone call when he walks into his room, and it's Charlie. Man, I got an offer for you. Why don't you come down for the last weekend of September, first part of October? Jennifer's having her engagement party October 1st. You can do what you can to stop this, Charlie said. I wouldn't be too confident that Jennifer would call off her engagement. You are nonsense, JR. This time last year, you wouldn't stop talking about her, saying she was the love of your life. You have to stop this. Okay, so it's September 5th, 1 a.m. Amy Kathleen is studying for an English exam at 8 in the morning. She knows that Grandma Elizabeth wants them to be there together for a breakfast on the phone. 5 a.m. Central. Kyle is out milking the cows and helping the ranch hands get ready to take some deer for an auction in El Paso. 7 p.m. Betsy and Elizabeth are out in the front of the patio with Christine having breakfast when they get a call from JR and Amy Kathleen on the speakerphone. They're also having breakfast. And Betsy says, JR, I want you to be careful. I found out from Mike Fields this morning that Charlie has offered for you to go to DFW the last weekend in September, Betsy said. I'm not having my pictures in the paper with some fiend, Gerald said. You are smart, JR, Amy Kathleen said. I'd really rather not talk about that. I'm going to talk about you, Amy Kathleen. So Greg got you a shiny ring. Hope to do that someday, Gerald said. I know you're my brother, but talking like that makes you a dork, Christine said. Christine, Grandma Elizabeth slams down her fork. Enough. Fabian, get her to school. Okay, so it's 9 a.m. Eastern. Jim is having a meeting with his dream team. Grace Arthur, Edward Covington, and Dave Rosenberg, and Steve Moore running polls on the phones. The most popular topic, believe it or not, was economic growth for business and the cost of living. And Jim says, all right, looks like Steve Moore won the poll. Tonight, we speak at a Republican business function at Notre Dame, Maryland University's Business School. I want everyone on point, especially you, Dave Rosenberg, Jim said. 1 p.m. Central. JR returns from his morning classes and a lunch at Crockett House with Andy Shelford when Kevin walks in. I heard what Charlie offered. Please don't tell me you're going to DFW that weekend, Kevin McDonald said. No, I'm not. I want to see my grandma. Charlie is an egotistical pain in the behind. Trust me, man. You'd have more fun with your family. And this time take Ken and Brent with you. Okay, so it's 3 p.m. Central. JR is in his dorm room when he picks up the phone and calls his mother. And Betsy says, JR, what is it? Listen, Mama, I need your prayers. I'm going to have a full weekend working like hell. I turned in a trial speech this morning. And next week, I meet congressional candidate Isaiah Friedman. Not to mention, I have a test. Not this Friday, but next Friday. And the following Monday, have a research paper due. Remember what your granddaddy said when the school system said you couldn't do nothing. You can do anything you set your mind to. Okay, so it's 5:30 p.m. Central. JR is sitting in between Brent and Stoney when a guest lecturer walks in. Sorry, folks, Dr. Kinghorn is delayed in Anaheim, meeting with a faculty colleague on another research paper. So, today, you're stuck with me, Dr. Nelson Demetrius. As we watched a video about elementary analysis and politics. In short, literary elements and rhetorical tools. Buckle up. Your seatbelts, as Dr. Kingthorne's assistant, Chad, puts in the video. Okay, so it's 9 p.m. Eastern. Meanwhile, in Baltimore, the Notre Dame School of Business, Jim and his dream team climb on board the stretched limo to go back to 14 Heritage Gate. Okay, so now, September 6th, 1 a.m. Eastern. Dave Rosenberg is up all night fidgeting with his calculator, keeping track of last night's poll. Even though what he said about Jim won him critical acclaim at Notre Dame. And among Republicans there, he knew that Jim might call him out. 2 a.m. Central. Charlie is in his condo, totally and longingly staring at the society page section where Jennifer Bowers is dancing with her new fiancé. Even if JR doesn't go to Fort Worth in the last week of September, Charlie was determined to stop the engagement. Okay, 3 a.m. Central. At the ranch, Kyle is milking the cows and getting 6 of them ready for him to take with Festus to a cattle auction in Fort Stockton. Okay, so it's 4 a.m. Central. JR is in the dorm living room looking at some research files Lucinda had put together to help him with the draft of his political communications research paper due on Friday. One thing he hopes is that Charlie does not call him today. He had tried to call Karen when he went back to his dorm last night, but got the cold shoulder. He wondered if Charlie had something to do with it. Okay, so it's 6:30 a.m. East Central. French toast with cinnamon rolls were for breakfast the Holy Spirit Club. JR sits down with Brent Clark. JR, I want you to get ready. I wanted you to know there's a business page that's going to be added to the campus paper on October 2nd, Brent said. You lucked out with your mama, JR said. Look at it this way, JR. Look at it this way, JR, C.B. Coleman said. You and Kevin now give Dr. Harmon a taste of his medicine, a run for his money. The sooner the better. Then, finally, I can win Karen Crowder. Permanently. Maybe marriage, JR said. Don't get your hopes up. You did well for debate practice last night. But Friday is the debate. We have it in Houston, Brent said. Okay, so it's 7:30 a.m. Eastern. After checking in at Reagan International Airport, Jim and the jet terminal, Jim and his dream team board the charter plane for the 8 a.m. departure for Lincolnton County Airport in Lincolnton, North Carolina. Okay, 9:30 a.m. Jim and his dream team are speaking at the Lincoln Christian Academy Chapel, talking to faculty and staff. Grace Arthur is in charge of pulling all the adults. Okay, it's 1 p.m. Central. JR walks out of Smith Hall for a breather when Connie stops him. No word from Karen? Connie asked. Guess you don't want to talk to me, JR said. JR, you would be so much better off without her. I wish I knew. So it's 2 p.m. Central. JR returns from his classes and Cheesecake Toastmasters to do a phone interview with Reverend Isaiah Friedman, his chief aide, Deacon Joseph Harry Nelson. JR taped the interview and prepared to complete his rough draft. Now, it's 3 p.m. Central. Kyle returns to the ranch, having sold only half of the 6 cattle. Only 3 cattle in Fort Stockton. He is in a foul mood, so he goes into the living room of the ranch and just sits down and watches TV. Okay, 6 p.m. Eastern. Dinner at 14 Heritage Gate was beef fajitas, fried rice, mogu, green beans, and German chocolate cake for dessert. Present at the meeting was Jim's dream team, although Blake Carter had been invited. He was still staying in Chesapeake with his best friend on vacation. 9 p.m. Central. As Madison and Christine help put the kids in bed, Betsy talks to Kyle about why he is in such a bad mood. Woo! Okay, we gotta find. Here we go, I think. Yes. September 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Jim and his dream team have photo ops on the stairs of the mansion with the press. 7 p.m. JR goes back into his room and he calls His phone rings, and it's Charlie, and then it's a thunderstorm. JR, please say that you'll go that last week in September and early October to stop the engagement. No, Charlie. How many times do I have to say no? I told you. I ain't missing my time with my grandma. You mean to tell me that you're not going to stop this engagement? I thought you cared for Jennifer. And how many times do I got to tell you? I moved on from Jennifer a long time ago because my whole high hopes are crushed. Good night, Charlie. Okay, so 9 p.m. Central. Christine is half asleep, groaning heavily with a migraine headache. With that, Betsy calls Dr. Bertrand to do a house call in the morning. She also calls Father Danders, the headmaster of Midway Prep, to say that Christine would be calling in sick. 1 a.m. Central. Vomiting in bed, Christine wakes up and takes a shower and changes her clothes while Brittany, the family nurse, changes the sheets. Brittany makes a note on Christine's chart for Dr. Bertrand. Grandma Elizabeth, who had been waking up almost every morning with nausea, was sleeping just fine. 2 a.m. Eastern. Jim is sitting in his office when he gets up. Last night call from Blake Carter, who said that he should be back in D.C. to take the show by next Thursday. Jim said he missed him deeply and wanted Blake to come back soon. Okay, so it's 2 a.m. Central. Here I am having fresh brought back a flash forward dream of myself in Congress. I would think nothing of this until it finally happened. But this is what happened. I was home for Easter recess, March 30th, 2006. I didn't know you're allowed to smoke those things. Smoke what things? I voted for the Patriot Act. You did what? Solve the budget problem, Daddy. You idiot. Now wait a minute, Daddy. I go to my congressional home district, I fly home, and you come complaining because Mark Christopher is crucifying me on TV. Do you want him elected to Congress? No, I ain't saying I do. But it's about time you learn to be cavalier. No, I can't just be cavalier. Well, a lack of it turns competitors into vultures searching for their prey. Well, PR is important. Political prepping and position, this is all it is. Anyway, I don't see no problem with Christine coming back to the ranch and staying with the little boy. You put me in that congressman's chair, Daddy. Sure, that's fine. Just keep it that way. I got more than one child. Nobody says you gotta do things alone. You can learn a few things from them. You better find you a wife, Junior. I already got a bunch of grandsons, grandkids. But I want a grandson from my firstborn to be an heir. Good night. "4 a.m. Central. JR is studying for his classes and preparing for his debate. The topic would be, should the federal government allow states to give health grants for small business? And true to form, JR would side with his father. 7 a.m. Central. Kyle climbs in the truck to get on 4 days worth of rodeos without his wife and family. Evidently, he and Madison had a bad fight last night. 8 a.m. Central. In public policy class, Dr. Elliott gave a firm introduction. Today, we are going to be talking about healthcare policy in the information age. Far too often, academics talk about healthcare policies in other industrialized countries. A broken system that seems beyond repair. You see, myself, along with Doctors Kinghorn and Rhonda and Villalpando, we have a different view. After a little over 3 years of research from the University of Los Angeles, Stanford University, DeVry University, DeVry University College, and Lubbock University College. Although some academics say that this is unproven, I must say we are on wonderful chartered ground here. Okay, so it's 9 a.m. outside the College of Media and Communications, Andrew Shelford, Corner Share. It's about 9:15, brother. Look, I'm sorry about last week. I didn't know Charlie Nation was that dumb to try to lure you to Dallas-Fort Worth. I was just trying to help. Look, I hear you're going to law school. And we're going to be on campus for 3 years. So let's try to be friends again. JR slaps him on the back. You coming to the debate in Houston today? Yeah, you bet. From what I hear, your Uncle Thomas is going to be there. Your cousin forever is going to be there also. So cheer up. Okay, 1:45 p.m. The private jet carrying the Texas Tech debate team departs from Lubbock, bound for Houston Hobby International Airport. 4 p.m. University of Houston law courtroom. Everyone is gathered around for the debate. St. Joseph, please make my daddy proud today, JR said. You're going to be okay? You're going to be okay, dear. Knock them dead, Aunt Ellen said. Focus on the debate. Don't focus on Charlie. Don't focus on Jennifer. Don't even focus on Karen. Focus on the debate, Forever said. Welcome to the first debate of the 95-96 school year. I'm Professor Buddy Dennis, Professor of Law and Public Policy at the University of Houston. Tonight's first debate is whether states should receive health grants for those in small business. Arguing for is James Ryan Henrik Jr., a senior public affairs student at Texas Tech University. Arguing against is Patrick Seward, a third-year law student at the University of Houston. 7 p.m. JR is flabbergasted and beside himself that he lost his first debate. He blames his words on the pressure from Charlie when Brent comes to his side. Hey, regardless, you did well. You did better. You did better than me, and I won the debate. Come on. Your Uncle Thomas wants to buy you a steak. So it's 8 p.m. JR goes to the steakhouse with some of the rest of the family. And even though he tries to celebrate, deep down, he's hurt. Because he lost the debate. Because he lost focus. Hope you enjoy listening to the JR Hendrick Texan Adventure. Gentlemen, if you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying, take care and get ready for the rest of the story. It's going to get quite a bit more interesting from here.